It's playoff weekend, and Leeds have got the playoff curse. They've never won in any of the 5 previous playoffs they've been in. So, can they break this curse this weekend? First of all, is Norwich away at Carrow Road. To preview that game, we've got, of course, Steve, our Leeds fan, and we've got Matty, our Canary. Good evening to you both. Um, First of all, Matty, would you preferred it not to have been Leeds?
Yes, I'd have preferred Southampton, to be honest. I think they're maybe easier to play against. Steve might say otherwise because he's kind of said it previously. He said that the Leeds haven't looked brilliant in the last few games, but in terms of an attacking threat, in terms of individuals that they've got, I'm a little bit fearful, to be honest, ahead of this both of these legs. Yeah, I'd rather it wasn't Leeds, to be honest. Anyone but Leeds, I would have said, or Ipswich, but they're not going to.
Yeah. All right, we'll bring you back in a second, Matty. Let's have a chat with Steve about that Southampton game. Oh dear, where do we start with this? If you could honestly fill a 2-hour program with what's gone on at Leeds in the last month, couldn't you?
Yeah.
4-0 QPR, 2-1 Southampton. I mean, I think what they're doing, Steve, is they're just making this the grandest playoff victory and route to promotion ever. Because last time Leeds were promoted, it was lockdown. No one got to see it. So this time they're just lulling us into a false sense of security and everything's going to be fine. Is that how you read it too?
No, I'm older and more cynical now as life's gone on. I wish I had that youthful enthusiasm behind me. But no, I mean, listen, history's there to be broken, isn't it? And some sort of hoodoo has got to be turned round. Whether it is this year, who absolutely knows? But yeah, football fan, we've got to believe. You've got to, but Leeds players are not making it easy for us to believe with some of the limp performances that we're giving, because I think I'm being kind with that. I think the Southampton game, every football fan probably wakes up before the game and has a little bit of optimism. And I just thought there's 0.5% of this happening. Ipswich playing at home to Huddersfield, who Huddersfield have been obviously garbage recently, and then Ipswich have been great. So I never really truly had any faith that we were gonna beat Southampton and it all be this mental day. But at the same time, you do want to see the players trying. And although I thought there were some bits where we were going forward, Firpo again, I thought again I might get killed in the comments for this, but I thought he looked great. Overall, we were just letting them get in behind us far too easy. And I don't know if we decided to do a bit of an attack and defence, but we certainly need to be changing that for Norwich, because I know that we've done the double over them. We obviously got the 3-2 win at Carrow Road after being 2-0 down and then beaten 1-0 at our place. But they have got some tidy players. Wagner will want to put that right as well, having us beat them twice. I think Farke has still got a good relationship with the Norwich fans. I know he speaks highly about the club, but I'm sure the fans would like to make sure Farke doesn't have his day out at Elland Road and Carrow Road once again this season. So there's a lot to be desired. It's really difficult as well, like you say about the 2 hours, because we finished on 90 points and we've still not gone up. And there's been a lot of great moments this season, but equally since the international break, we've been really, really, really bad. So yeah, God knows what Leeds are going to turn up on Saturday, but I just hope it's 70%, even just for a bit of pride of the best that we've looked this season.
Obviously, the comparisons with Bielsa's side and Bielsa are going to be made when we look at things like this. And there's lots of comments that says, Farke's failed. Ultimately, okay, no team with 90 points has ever not gone up automatically. So you've got to look at it that way, that you have just been unfortunate victims of Ipswich's success. But when you look at the side that Bielsa had and what he achieved with them, you look at the side that Farke has. It's fair, isn't it, that some fans are saying that he has failed this season not to get promoted with this side.
Well, yeah, football's full of opinions, isn't it? From what we're hearing through credible journalists and things like that, is when Farke had his interview for the job, he outlined what needed to be done, how many goals needed to be scored, and what point tally we were needing to average in order to get promoted, all of which he's done, and we're still not being promoted. So there is we need to lick our wounds and get over feeling sorry for ourselves. But yeah, I guess if the ultimate goal is to finish in that top two, well, yeah, we haven't. So in that case, he's failed. But if in 2 weeks' time, we're talking about it and I can't speak because my voice has lost and we're celebrating at Wembley getting promoted, well, then he's done it. But yeah, he's done it the hard way. And maybe this is what's destined to happen because, Leicester, although I've really despised them winning the league with some of their celebrations and what Vardy's been singing about Leeds, and Ipswich, unfortunately, they have been two unbelievable teams. Southampton had the 25-game unbeaten run, didn't they? We nearly went the whole season unbeaten at home. So there's been elements in other teams that have looked top tier, but the top two teams went up for a reason. They were the best two teams. So we now need to be the best of the rest, and that starts Saturday.
Okay. All right, let's have a look at the team then, and you can pick out what you would change before we bring back in our Norwich fan.
Yeah.
Just for me watching Leeds, and I only can go off the QPR game here, and I know that wasn't a good showing. Are you missing leadership on the pitch? You've got individual quality, and you play some great football at times. But for me, what's missing is someone just when a game isn't going well, just to grab some players with the scruff of the neck and say, "Hey, calm it down, put a few tackles in, keep the ball." Do you know that? I don't see that in this Leeds side. Maybe obviously you watch them every week. Maybe you can tell me I'm wrong, but what's missing?
It's a fair point, and it's difficult because also when it's going so well, you don't have that leadership that don't calm them down. But I think the real season players in the team, right, is Ampadu is still young, but he's now wearing the captain's armband. But in terms of maturity, he handles himself there. I don't want to say this, especially in the semi-final of the playoffs, but Cooper is the only one that we have with that leadership. And weirdly, I thought he'd have been perfect against QPR. Not for a game like this. But I think the other thing that is really happening is just some confidence. I think if we can score off someone's backside or Norwich want to clear it, it's one of our back of our heads and it goes in top bin or something like that. Just something to give us that bit of impetus. I think then it'll happen again. But we haven't got long to turn it round. But looking at this team that played against against Southampton, yeah, I was really surprised that Gray didn't start. I know he's not the leader that we're talking about. If anything, he needs the leadership. But it goes to show when we're not starting an 18-year-old that some of us are raising our eyebrows. Kamara came back in, looked okay. Ruta was the one that really looks like off the ball. His output's not been nowhere near as good in the last few weeks. So I don't see him being dropped though, because he can do something against Middlesbrough. He went on some unbelievable run, and if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have got the penalty. But Sam Byram leaves me wanting to bring Gray in, and just back to your point, Sam Byram's one of the senior players of the team. So I think just me, but I'm not the football manager. I'd be putting Gray in over Byram, and I'm letting him move forward. Piru, he scored. It was a really good finish, to be fair, and he looked a different player, thankfully, to what he did against QPR, because I'd have been happy for him never to step into Thorpe Arch and ever again, never mind Elland Road. But I do see Bamford starting if he's fit. And right now, I'm not sure where he is with coming back. But Bamford, again, he's a bit seasoned with that leadership as well. But yeah, maybe next season, if we don't go up, that is something we will be looking for.
Okay. Connor Roberts.
Yeah.
Isn't this the sort of game that he'd be perfect for? Box orders, likes to scrap, puts himself about. I know he's much maligned with some Leeds fans, but isn't this sort of game screaming out for him?
It's a fair shout. If you fancy putting your boots on, it's a fair shout for you to get down, Mark. So yeah, Connor Roberts starting or anyone else, but Connor Roberts has looked really good going forward. Especially when we beat Leicester, he looked really good that game when he come on. So I think I'd like to see more at Elland Road than I would at Carrow Road. I don't see that being an all-out affair. I think it'll be two good teams trying to win the game, but I think it'll just be a goal either for them or for us. And I think Byram's probably going to keep his place. I would see Gray, but no, I think it's a really good shout to see Roberts come in, and I'd like to see that at Elland Road.
Okay, let's bring in now Norwich fan then, and let's get the alternative view on this game. Okay, Matty, I put it to you that since you beat Ipswich, Norwich have been a little bit off the pale, both at home and away from home. Do you go along with that view?
100%, yeah. I was at both the home games that we drew, the last two home games of the season, against two teams that had nothing to play for. And I know sometimes, teams play with a bit of freedom when that's the case, but for us, the other side of the coin was totally different. We were trying to secure and cement a playoff place, and you want to go into the playoffs with some momentum, and we haven't got any of that now. We've drawn those two games, and we lost at the weekend to a now relegated Birmingham City. So it's one of them where you sort of think, all right, no side's got brilliant momentum. I was the day before watching Norwich at Carrow Road when Leeds got beat at QPR. I was looking at it in a pub and couldn't believe my eyes. I thought that was an absolute banker that Leeds would win that and push Ipswich, a lot closer. So I have absolutely no idea what to expect over both legs. But looking at Leeds, you just talked about Leeds as players and looking, the quality in that squad. Our 11 is decent. Leeds' 11 is decent, but I kind of feel like Leeds have got better options off the bench, which is where the game might be won.
Yeah. You've watched a little bit of Leeds this year. Do you see a lot of similarities with how Farke's playing with that squad as to how he used to play with you lads?
Yes, I actually watched a fair bit of Borussia Mönchengladbach last year as well. I even went out to a game there when he was in charge. He does have his own style of football. I appreciate it's not Bielsa ball that a lot of the Leeds fans loved, but he does have that style of play that he's consistent with it wherever he's been now. And even the times that he makes his changes, the changes he makes, the similar sort of minutes as to when he changes them, everything is very reminiscent of his time in charge at Norwich, just without quite the same level of success yet. But I still think he's a brilliant manager. A few of the best seasons following Norwich City have been under him, in my lifetime. So I won't have a bad word said against him. If we weren't in the playoffs, I'd be, wishing him all the best. But put you in a bit of a conflicting position when you when you're like the man who's managing the team that you're up against over two legs.
Yeah. Steve, this two games has to go well, obviously, for Leeds for you to get to Wembley, and then obviously try and break this curse. Would you take a 1-1 from Carrow Road?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not my preferred result. I want us to go there and beat them 4-0, but I'd definitely take a 1-1 and bring them back to Elland Road and let the fans get behind us. And really, I think that could be a pivotal game. Again, I'm trying to be this optimistic Leeds fan that I don't know where I'm getting it from based on some of the patheticness I've seen recently. But if that second game we can really show what we're about, get the fans behind us, it's a good omen going into the playoff final, as it is for Matty and Norwich. If that second leg goes well for one of the teams and really does turn it on its head, obviously then you go into that final game not thinking about the Blackburn game or the Southampton game or the QPR game. It's the last game and how the next 90 minutes matter. So, sorry, yeah, I'll take the 1-1 and then, Godspeed, Ed.
Okay. Right. Two teams then that have not been playing too well at all, and that's as goes the same for Southampton West Brom. Actually, they too have not been playing well at all. So this is either going to be 0-0 or 5-5. Let's get your predictions. First of all, for this Sunday, Matty, you're at home, so you can go first. What's going to happen this Sunday at Carrow Road?
I think we have to win. I don't see us winning at Leeds, so I think we have to win. And I know we've just slagged off the last 2 home forms and we were poor, but we are on a decent unbeaten run at home. Being able to beating Ipswich at home is a massive thing for us. So I fancy us to maybe win 2-1 at home this weekend. But second leg, what do you think?
Okay. Steve, what goes your way?
Yeah, I would love to see us win at Carrow Road, but I do think it's more, realistic for either Norwich to beat us 2-1 or it be a score draw. So I know we've just been talking about it, but I will go with a 1-1. And then I think it'll be a tight game, but I'd like to say we're going to really beat them and go into the final with some confidence. So I'll say we'll get them back and it'll be 3-1. But I do see both teams scoring in both legs.
Okay. All right. Nice one. Enjoy the game, both of you. Thank you very much. If you're a Leeds fan, please give us your team predictions in the comments below. Does Connor Roberts get in for you? What happens with Firpo if Bamford's fit? Does he get in? I can't believe he was mentioned that we're pinning our hopes on Patrick Bamford. No offence to him, but he's missed a few, Annie, this year. And give us your score predictions as well. If you don't yet follow us, please do. Yeah, and then one of you guys we'll be having back in a week's time as we talk to you about your trip to the Arch. So we'll wish you both well. Cheers for joining us.
Cheers, Matt.